Overwatch is getting a mini anime series. That is correct. These are words that I've just spoke, and it is the truth, and it's happening. I can't believe it. We've also got more information on the new hero and a developer take to go over in this video. So it's going to be a pretty jam-packed video, actual new content that we can talk about. So let me show you this first, because this is absolutely crazy. Look at this. Genesis, an Overwatch miniseries. Part 1 of 3 premieres July the 6th. Now, we've got the teaser trailer here, which we're going to go through. But what I will say, guys, is this isn't it's not like a League of Legends Arcane level of production. But what it is just a mini-series that's going to give us like a bit of backstory leading up to the present day. And I guess leading into the PvE missions that we've got coming in Season 6. Remember, it is called Genesis because, like, you know, it's the start, it's the beginning. Let's watch this through, and then we'll break down some key points because it's really cool, this is.
Overwatch on site. Taking heavy fire. Sky, confirm target. You've been spotted. You've been spotted. Get out of here, Sky. Get out of here.
Life before the war was extraordinary. We were no longer defined by our mistakes. The AIs were saving us from them. But we had no idea. It was all about to change.
Through freedom, you can find your own path.
Okay, right, let's break this down because there's a lot going on here, and I'm going to stop it at key points and try and explain the lore. Now, you know I'm terrible with lore, but I think I've got a good grasp of this, or at least a basic understanding.
Taking heavy fire.
Okay, so whatever. We've seen Reyes there at the start of the video clip. Obviously, remember, this seems to be prior to the Omnic War, the first Omnic War. So obviously Reyes, he's not Reaper at the moment, but he's still using shotguns. You know, there he is. You can sort of see the Overwatch logo on his shoulder. If we just go forward frame by frame, you'll see it. Yeah, I mean, he's basically an Overwatch agent at this point. So yeah, he's coming in, Death Blossom, before it became Death Blossom, I guess. I don't know what he would call it at this point, but good stuff. Yeah, we've got these. I don't think these are OR-15s. I think OR-15s protected the Numbani, didn't they, before Orisa? Lore nerds in the comments below correct me, but they're just basically the heavy combat unit of Omnics. Then we've got like these standard looking Omnics, more like Zen. We've got the Bastion units over there. And then we've got this. Now, this is one of the Ramatra units. So these are more like advanced combat units. So that's really cool to see them all together. Good stuff there. Got Reinhardt moving forward. It seemed actually that Reinhardt was moving into some Bastions in their old sentry mode, which would be bad news because they're just going to destroy you. Barrier's going to last 5 seconds and goodbye. Drone gets taken out in the sky. Really cool. This is Dr. Liao.
Extraordinary.
The creator. Hang on. She's the creator of Echo. Now, it looks like life was extraordinary and then AI gets created. And this is what really interests me because this looks like a hybrid Omnic AI. It's like a hybrid Echo Zen. Now, it's got eyes, but it's also got the dots, and it also kind of looks a bit like an Omnic, doesn't it? Just a standard Zen Omnic, let's call him. This is really cool.
We're no longer defined by our...
So here, what they're showing is Omnics just being, you know, used for... They're basically doing the dirty work of mankind, right? They're just using them as equipment to get jobs done. They don't really have a life. They just do what they're told. And this Genesis, I guess, is the moment where Omnics realize, you know what, we want something better than this, and then things go forward from there, which, you know, is going to be cool.
The AIs were saving us.
This is cool as well because this actually shows you something that's probably going to happen in the future, to be honest, with all cars being controlled by some sort of AI network. So there's never any congestion. But if someone walks into the road, as in the case of this little kid, then they don't get run over. I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool.
From them.
This, though, is cool. So this is Dr. Liao and her team creating this, which is, I presume, the first God program. Now, I think God programs are the original AI. Well, they're the AI that runs the Omniums, and the Omniums are the factories that create the Omnics, yeah? And this program realizes, or this AI realizes, you know what, let's kill the humans. That's what goes on.
But we had no
You see the
idea.
reflection here? Look, see the reflection? It's got eyes. It's actually got eyes, so it's not like an Omnic at all.
It was all about to change.
Loads of Bastion units coming in. This is really cool. So this is one of the Titans, the massive Omnics. Look at the size of it. But something really cool happens in a minute. And I'm going to move my camera out of the way because it's fighting another massive Titan. Like, what is going on there? So this is Anna. I don't know where she is here. There's a young Reinhardt as well. What is this? I'm going to go over here. What is this? Like, what is this? It's fighting. What is this? Is this like a Torb unit? Or maybe it's Russian. It might be Russian, actually, because it's snowy. So it could be some sort of Russian thing. But, like, what is going on there? It's literally a massive Titan smashing another Titan. This is what I want to see. This is what... There's Torb. You know what? I'll go back over here. There's Torb. Love it, Torb. With all these turrets. Anna, she seems to be in... Let's just go back a second there. Yeah, she's definitely in Egypt. We can see the Great Pyramid behind her. Excellent. We can see 2 pyramids. This, though, I don't know what this is. It's like some massive energy discharge. I don't know what this is. Like, something is either being fired from space or being opened up through the ground. I don't know. But this is what I want from Overwatch lore. I want questions that I hope they'll answer at some point. Cool. This, though, right then.
Freedom, you can find your own path.
Okay. This is the AI Omnic entity that Dr. Liao has created very clearly in Nepal. So, given the dates here, Zen is not going to be in here, I don't think, but Mondata will be. And maybe this individual goes to speak with Mondata and then realizes, actually, I'm an AI. I can create Omnics. We're going to build Omniums and we're going to kill all the humans and free ourselves from basically being the human slaves, which we don't want anymore. That's probably going to be the storyline. That's what I'm discerning from all of this. Anyway, yeah, that's it, guys.
You can find your
And then the
own
eyes
path.
again. Cool. It's nice to have something positive to talk about when it comes to Overwatch. And there we go. We get some dates there. So I'm looking forward to this. Now, remember, this isn't your sort of full-blown Netflix super anime that's cost $100 million to make. It's just a YouTube miniseries. But at least they're trying. At least we're getting this stuff. And this is something to be positive about. So good job, Blizzard. Good job. Okay, what we're going to do now is move over to this, which is the director's take. But before we go into that, I just want to show you guys this. Check this out. This is the new hero inside a solar threading ritual, or it is the solar threading ritual. So again, this leans into the idea that the new hero is something to do with the sun god from the Inca civilization, and there is light energy being infused into the hero here in this sort of whatever this contraption is. Well, we know what the contraption is. It's a solar threading ritual. But yeah, interesting stuff. Anyway, let's go into the article and take a look at this. So there's a bit of information here. We'll just go through it. We'll just break it all down. Let me zoom in and we'll get this rolling. Okay, so this is the director's take, Flashpoint, cinematics, and the dawn of a new hero. Dawn. I see what you've done there. Grab bag week. There's a lot the community's talking about, and we're excited for. This week, I'd love to briefly touch on a bunch of those topics. So, Flashpoint. Okay. We talked about Flashpoint during the live stream and then some of the points around its design over Twitter, but nothing compares to a picture. It's good practice to draw paper maps before building a new level, especially when it's part of the process for designing a new game mode. Okay, so we see a map here of... okay, what are we looking at here? So, got a jungle. Is this League of Legends? We've got a blue spawn ABE, CD. Okay, so we've got 2 spawns. Points are kind of not equally spread out, but that's the point of these maps. That's the square, that's the market steps. Okay, I think we've sort of taken that in. Okay, fair enough. Let's move down and see what he says. So, the image was one of the first ones drawn for Flashpoint. The final layout of Suravasa won't be exactly like this. Okay, for instance, there won't be a river dividing the map in 2, but it does a good job of showing how Flashpoint map is designed, or how a Flashpoint map is designed. There are 2 spawn points for each team and 5 points arranged in an X pattern. We talked about the quasi-symmetrical nature of the map in Overwatch 2 Invasion Reveal livestream. And when you look at point B, for instance, you can see that the entrances to the arena are all symmetrical. This symmetry extends outside the point for a short distance. Another detail about Flashpoint I mentioned on a live stream is that when the match starts, the first point will be picked randomly. In actuality, this has been changed. Okay, This is good because this is what I was worried about. Because random points are just like if you look at the map here, imagine you're the red team and this is the point. Well, I mean, the blue team have got to run over there. You can just sit there and camp it, which is not great. Anyway, he says this has been changed. The first objective will always be the central point of the map. Yeah, so that makes sense. Like that was the simplistic change there. But obviously, I mean, if you're the red team and you take this and then this becomes the point, then you're still close to that. Although this isn't the final map, so I don't know, bit of leeway there. Okay, so he goes on to talk about balance. Game balance this season continues to be in great shape, and I do agree with that. I do think it is. I just think there's some heroes that have had odd changes. With Season 5, we saw Junker Queen's dominant reign over the tank role even out, making way for a more diverse selection of tank heroes. With Winston and D.Va on the rise, damage heroes notably saw a shift in play rate, with the previously popular picks like Tracer and Hanzo being overtaken by Genji and Cassidy. Support is seeing a notable increase in both Brig and Lifeweaver team compositions as well. Okay, that's fine. Earlier this week, we pushed a small balance update to fine-tune Cassidy, May, and Lifeweaver after they received some significant adjustments to their abilities at the start of the season. What we found was that Cassidy's magnetic grenade was slightly too easy to land. Slightly? Okay. May's overall effectiveness dropped as she traded damage for more slowing utility, and Lifeweaver's impact was much greater than before. We're still looking to improve player control over aiming Thorn Volley. Okay, fair enough. There are more hero balance changes coming in the mid-season patch, which include shifting power for Torbjorn. Why? Who's asking for Torb to get looked at? What the actual hell? And Symmetra away from their turret, and Sim as well, from their turrets and into the rest of their kit. Improving the control over Sojourn's Railgun primary fire spread. Why? Increasing the frontline capability of Reinhardt and Orisa. Yeah. And slight adjustments to weaken Zen's Discord orb ability. Okay, and that's actually kind of decent as well. What? It's like they're just picking randomly. Yeah, let's just whatever. Okay, cinematics. We developed quite a few cinematics to be used in the invasion story missions as well as outside of it. As much as we can, we try to tell stories in the missions without taking control away from players. We prefer the gameplay in these missions to be uninterrupted. The stories in these missions are told in two different ways. First, the missions themselves are each centered around a piece of narrative. We record an incredible amount of voice lines for each mission, and depending upon which heroes are selected, players will get different interactions and sub-stories in each mission. Second, each mission is bookended with two cinematics, and the heavy lifting of driving the plot forward is handled through these cinematics. In addition to these sequences, we have other pieces coming out in Season 5 to set up the story that we're telling in Overwatch 2 Invasion as well. Yeah, which will be the Genesis we've just looked at. There's a thread connecting many of the cinematics we've released over the years, including Are You With Us, the startup piece that shipped with the original game, and 0 Hour, the shorts shown at BlizzCon 2019. Years ago in our story, Overwatch was forced to disband. We've been gradually telling the story of how the original heroes of Overwatch have come back together. Next season's Invasion story missions connect many of these threads. How will some of these heroes familiar to our players be introduced to Overwatch? What is Cassidy going to do with the crew he recruited in the New Blood comic series? Keep a lookout for more pieces coming later this year and beyond. Some of these relate to the story that we're telling in Invasion, and some don't. One in particular is completely out of left field, but totally amazing. Well, that'll be one to look for. Okay, new hero. So, I can't say too much about the new hero. We'll do a full reveal later before Overwatch 2 Invasion launches, but I'm not above teasing a bit. Earlier in June, we gave players a quick glimpse of her silhouette, and the internet immediately went to work enhancing the video to give her more definition. Someone even created a concept piece for her. We knew people would do this, and we were surprised with how many of the details they got right about her look. I'd like to recognise this detective work by revealing an image that is an integral part of this hero's backstory. And of course, we get this crazy solar threading ritual. And he says, that's it. Okay, off you go. All right, then. Good news for a change. I think that's actually a pretty positive thing. Everything I've read there seemed really good, apart from the crazy balance stuff. But the Genesis stuff looks really good. And I just let me know what you think about this in the comments below, guys. I think this looks pretty good. I'm shocked. What a lovely Friday evening this has been for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See you soon.